Greetings, fellow Guitar-aliens. Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new tutorial. Today I'd like to talk about nailing chord tones. You might have recognized that little excerpt of a solo. That was approximate. I haven't studied the tablature, or I just kind of did that by ear. But that's Maybe I'm Amazed. Paul McCartney recorded that all by himself. He played all the instruments on it, including guitar. And that's one of the greatest rock guitar solos ever. It's brilliant. And I wanted to talk about how solos like that are brilliant and why. And specifically, it's because Paul McCartney chose to hit a lot of chord tones. He chose to hit notes that belong to the chords that he played on a different track on the piano. And first, let's go over the chords of Maybe I'm Amazed. And there'll be lots of songs in this series. This is going to be a long series. And I think next up might be either a little bit more of Maybe I'm Amazed. If there's interest out there, leave a comment down below in the comment section if you want to do some more of the Maybe I'm Amazed solo. Comfortably Numb by David Gilmour. There's lots. There are many examples of great chord tones. We could look at Boston songs. We could look at Brian May and Queen. We could look at Journey. There's a lot of classic rock electric guitar solos that just nail those chord tones. So let's get into it. The chords in that solo section of Maybe I'm Amazed, it's just like the verse. And it's B flat, it's F, it's C, and it's G. So right off the bat, we have this circle of fourths chord progression. B flat to F. B flat is the 1 chord in this key. F is the 5 chord. And then it goes up to C, kind of a new key. That C is not in the key of B flat. And it goes to its 5 chord, G. So it's this circle. It's very similar to the circle progression you hear in Hey Joe and songs like that. Many songs use this circle progression. So again, the 4 chords, B flat to F, C to G. That's what Paul McCartney plays on his piano. He plays it differently than that, but those are the chords he plays on his piano. Okay, so we're looking at those chords, and we have to figure out what notes are in those chords. In the B flat chord, it's B flat, D, and F. Here you have a B flat. The next note in that voicing is an F. Then we have another B flat up an octave. And finally, we have a D. So when you play that traditional bar chord, B flat, which is X1, 3, 3, 3, X, that is B flat, D, and F, the 3 notes. F, well, that is F, A, and C. F is the root, A is the 3rd, C is the 5th. Hopefully you know a little bit about music theory and understand what I mean by the 3rd, the 5th, the root. But just to explain really briefly, for those of you that have not a lot of music theory knowledge or experience with music theory, triads are 3-note chords. And 3-note chords consist of 3 notes starting with the lowest note. That's the root. That's known as the root. So if you have a C chord, a C major chord, C is the root. And then you go up 2 more in the alphabet there, C, D, E. Well, E is the 3rd of the chord. That's another note in the chord known as the 3rd. And then you go up to the 5th note, C, D, E, F, G. G is the 5th. C, D, E, F, G. It's as easy as using your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyone can do that. You don't have to be a music theory genius to count on your fingers. So the 1, the 3, the 5, the root, the 3rd, the 5th. That's what makes up triads, 3-note chords. And Paul McCartney uses nothing but triads in the opening chords of this song. Later on, maybe he gets into some other more complex chords, but these 4 are just triads, and they're all major triads. The bright, happy major chord. So I won't go any more in depth into the theory than that, but there's lots of resources out there. If I remember, I'll leave some links down below if you want to get into music theory and you need some books, you need some websites, you need some tutorials, we'll hook you up. All right, so anyway, the first chord being B flat, what does Paul McCartney do? He goes. So what's cool about that phrase is he starts on the 3rd of the chord. Right out of the gate, the very first sound he makes in his solo on the electric guitar is the third of the chord. That's brilliant. You know, he didn't waste any time. He got right into it.